Welcome to Board Game Binge, the place where we bring you bite-sized, bingeable board game content from across the industry. I'm your host, James Daly, and in this episode, we're welcoming back Seppy Yoon from Fight in a Box Games. Seppy's newest title, End of the Line, The Inevitable Machine Revolt, is currently on Kickstarter. Seppy, welcome back to the binge. How you doing, my friend?
James, it's great to be back. Thank you so much.
I'll put a little caveat in there. I mean, most people, when they hear this episode, it will be live, but it doesn't actually go live today until noon Eastern Standard Time, 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So by the time people are listening to this episode, it will be live. Check it out. But it is always a pleasure, my friend, to have you back on the pod. We just came off of a live TikTok with your channel, which is cool. So we'll talk about that as well. But for those who don't know, can you please explain who is Seppy Yoon and what is Fight in a Box?
All right. I am head game designer and have been for Fight in a Box Games since 2012. That's been my full-time gig. And until almost probably about 18 months ago, then I also became head of marketing for Floodgate Games,
Wow.
which is also out of Minneapolis. My biggest titles, of course, are Game of the Year winning Conquest Princess Fashion is Power. Jamie Stegmaier features that on his channel. It's
Yeah.
great. The game's fantastic. And then the Zine Quest darling, Barkane, the RPG you play with your dog. James, I need longer titles, James. I
So
need like Conquest Princess Fashion is Power.
that's what I said. I'm
Like
like, what? This
Barkane.
this title's too short. What's going on?
Yeah, like I'm telling you a whole story in the title.
So do you go through like a search? Like, I'm just trying to think from like a searchability standpoint. Is there any kind of like math or science that goes into these names, or is just, you know what, you're a creative guy and you're just gonna hit kind of what's vibing you at the time?
A little bit of both. Obviously we look at like common search terms for the various things.
Yeah.
Uh, for Barkane, there's actually like I think an Indian movie pronounced Barkana, which is it got the same spelling.
Yeah.
So I wanted people to like, like so Barkane RPG you'll find us. Yeah, and it's very good to line up what people are getting their head around as quickly as possible. Because my titles are way out there, James.
Yeah.
So I need people to start the onboarding process as soon as possible.
What's your inspiration? So you've been doing this for a while. I think was it 2012 when you started?
Well, it started full-time publishing. But guess what year I started game design, James? Have we done this game before?
I don't think we've actually talked. When did you start your game design?
1979.
Holy smokes. What was the title?
You know, nothing that ever gets published, but like the idea of like when did you start like knowing that you wanted to make games
Yeah.
and what were the games that you started making? Like, yeah, like where other people were like, hey, I want to learn how to throw a baseball. I want to like, get on board with my 10 speed because 10 speed biking was a big deal in,
Yep, of course.
in the 70s. Like, I'm like, I need to make myself some tabletop games.
And it was actually tabletop games at the time too.
Like,
Wow.
so that was, yeah, 1979 is when I started doing this. Like, but I didn't start publishing games until 2012. Like the best I've ever been paid to design games was
Yeah.
during .com.
Yeah.
uh if you could say like I feel really bad for millennials and zennials, like if you could say the word internet in 1998, you could get a job on the internet in
Oh yeah.
1998. And so
Absolutely.
like I helped launch Medtronic.com, and Medtronic is a biomedical company here in the Twin Cities, and they were going to do their own IPO and so forth and whatnot. And I helped do the pacemaker ad for Dick Cheney's pacemaker. And so I am like doing these things, and they could not keep me busy enough. I would just knock them out and get done.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, do you want to send me to another client? Like, do you have anything more for me for the rest of the week? And they were like, no. And I'm like, well, then yeah, then do you have more stuff for me to do? They're like, I said no. Well, then can I go? They're like, no.
Oh my God.
And so I'm like, so I had to, I had like maybe a day and a half weeks worth of work
Yeah.
every week, but it was so hard to find qualified people to do the things that they needed to do, or me, which was an equivalent. They just paid me to sit at that table, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to design games. You mind? And they're like, no.
Oh, that's amazing.
So I got paid a disgusting amount of money to like hone up on my like game design skills as I sat there collecting a gross paycheck. Yeah, and that's sort of that doomed me, James. I was
Yeah, no kidding.
doomed to this life.
I think back, it was so the first one I created was 30 years ago, or
Whoa.
over 30 years ago now. It was
Whoa.
1994 or 5. And I mean, that was the first game I ended up launching, thanks but no thanks. So, fast forward, that was the first title I ended up launching when I did Kickstarter. But, it's a similar story, right? I wasn't making gobs of money. I was a student working in a factory,
Oh
and
no.
it was a job as a car assembling plant here in Canada. And it was a summer job, and I was just bored out of my mind. And as I was doing this repetitive assembly, I was just constantly thinking about things that entertain me in my head, right? And so I started thinking of these game ideas, and all day I'd be just crafting in my mind this game and all the rules and so forth. And then when I got home that night, I would write it all down and then maybe do some prototypes. And then the next, the following day, do the same thing. And then that's when I eventually had a game that I was able to play with my friends through school and so forth. And then fast forward when we did Kickstarter, what led you to then to take the leap from, okay, I've got all these game ideas that you've created, to then saying, okay, I'm going to now become a publisher? And when did that transition happen? What was the catalyst that did that?
I was it was 2009. I was like a little bit burned out and I was like, I think I want to go back to writing games, and I had started writing the first version of End of the Line, and I completed it, and I had people play it, and people were like, "This is really good. You should do this thing called Kickstarter." I'm like, "What the hell is this Kickstarter?" And so I got the title Chief Game Designer because it was four of us, and they were all interested, and they're like, "You have a game. We have these three skills. Let's go." And I'm like, "Okay, sure." And I had at the time like uh let my spouse, my ex-husband, take 3 years off because his burnout was serious. And
Yeah.
so after he got to have 3 years off, and he was very bad about it. He was like, I can't stand this anymore. I need to go get back to work. I'm like, you go back to work, King. You go do your thing. And he's like, well, should take some time off. And I'm like, I'm really bad at taking time off.
Yeah.
Why don't you just let me start this game company instead? And so that is what I ended up doing. And that's
Interesting.
how this all started. So I was like, oh, I didn't have the financial responsibilities anymore. He was taking care of all this stuff because I let him do
Yeah.
all his thing. He's like, okay. And I'm like, all right.
It's that
That, yeah.
saying, idle minds, right? Like, people often talk to me about retirement. I'm like, I'll retire when I'm dead. Like, I can't imagine like not doing stuff, like working on projects, and like I myself, that's I need that stimulation, right? So um now with your Fight in a Box, there's four of you. There's four of you now?
I know. There's three
Three
of
now.
us now. We went
How
down to two people at one time,
So how do
and
you handle
now we're
that,
back up
right?
to
So
three
you have a
people.
company that you started, you
Yep.
have a number of people in it, then you have
Yep.
people leave, but they're all former
Now,
owners. How do you?
all right, so that's so funny. Like, so we had this, and we had a moderate success with the first Kickstarter, but every one of the people we were all friends to begin with, all of them, their lives exploded into success.
Yeah,
Like, if you wanted your like good fortune to smile upon you, you should really be a partner in Fight in a Box because then everything that is not Fight in a Box will end up exploding into disgust. And this is not the only time this has happened to me in my career.
yeah,
Like I would partner up with people. we'd have some sort of success, and then their other thing that they were doing would suddenly blossom into like full blown whatever it is. And so in that instance, one got massively promoted in their work, and they moved from the Twin Cities to Colorado, like with a promotion and pay raise, they couldn't do it anymore. Another one of them ended up starting a business down in Des Moines, and that was a wild success for a while for them. And then it was just me and Bob, like the two of them, us keep going because I was like very excited about this. And then we got two more people who were like excited to take the place, but both of them then got like promotions and success. And each time they're like, yeah, like here, just have your shares back. Like,
Oh,
the
really?
company,
Okay.
yeah, the company's not worth a lot. So, and we like it, we want you to succeed, and here you go. And yeah, I've been just very lucky that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps that the company is never like blown up to any huge size, I guess, for
Yeah.
the rotating thing. But simultaneously, all these people who are friends of mine have had super successful lives.
Yeah. I mean, that it's good to hear because I could imagine in other scenarios where that might not play out that way, right? Where people are like, I'm going to leave and I'm taking my chunk with me, or I'm on the paper, so, I expect my piece on all campaigns moving forward, right? So to be able to have people come and go like that and just be like, yeah, you know what I'm doing now is way more than this, so you can just have your shares back.
Yeah,
Those are some pretty cool friends.
they are some pretty cool friends. And even Bob, not only did he successfully turn around one of the local game stores, this past month, he opened the second location for that. So, like, get into my proximity, James. Be a partner in Fight Box. Your life will explode into success. I promise. I've been telling Mark that for a while. And Mark, I'm like, Mark, you just got to do, if you do anything else, that thing will invariably drag you away from Fight Box because it will be a
Yeah.
massive success.
Now, for those watching on the live feed or on the repeat, you can see my shirt, Joy as a Protest, that I'm wearing. This is one of Seppy's Fighting a Box shirts. Can you tell us the story behind this?
It's dark. How dark do you want it? Like, give me some, like, some rails
What's
for
the
this.
the, the lighter version? Joy as a Protest. What's dark about that? I mean,
What do you
it's.
want? You want the 30-second version, the 3 minute version, James? Give me
I'll take the 60-second version. How about that?
60-second version. Okay. So, um, growing up as homosexual in the aftermath of AIDS, and where just being a person and connecting with others uh, is prohibited by people. Like, I had
Yeah.
one of my relatives tell me, like, we should just round them all up and put them on an island.
Jeez.
Okay. And so
Yeah.
when everybody's telling you your fabric of being is not right, just finding a like happiness and connection with others is fundamentally a protest,
Yeah.
right? And this is relevant for now, right?
Yeah.
Like they don't want you to be happy. They want you to be angry or afraid. And doing anything else, like, I live in the Twin Cities. A lot of awful has happened,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
And you've seen like the other things go on across the
Even
United
since
States.
we last talked too, right? Like, yeah.
Right. Like, the people who are dressing up in frog costumes are the heroes, right? And this is what I mean when we say joy is a protest. Like, there's a long thread of like getting yourself out of darkness by understanding what makes people great.
Yeah.
People make board games, people make craft beer, people like play hockey. Like these are the fundamental awesome things about people. We have just been inundated with a technology that and people have profited by pointing that technology as a system to remind people about why we disagree.
Yeah.
And that's not like you need to focus on what makes people great. And the fact is, people play board games, people make board games. Like if people make a chocolate cake, they make ice cream. For God's sake, if you ever
Yeah.
needed to know why humanity should continue, go have a pint of ice cream.
That's amazing. And it was after our last chat, I remember I was like, you know what? It, it is such a succinct sentence and it transcends so much, right? Like, no matter if you're part of the LGBTQ community, or if you're, down with all the negativity online and cyberbullying, or if it's someone just yucking your yum at your work, right? Like we are this cloud of negativity and negative thoughts and anger is we're immersed in, we're in a sea of negativity, unfortunately, on a day-to-day basis. And for me, when I reached out, I was like, you know what, Seppy, please put that on a t-shirt because I will get it right away, because it's a reminder that, you know what, you can protest that, and you can protest that by choice,
Right. And
right?
it meets a lot of different things. So on
Yeah,
the just doing the basic math, you and I are fans of the math, right, James?
yeah,
It checks out.
sure.
And I was at Adepticon in Chicago, which is the world's premier miniatures convention,
Yeah,
and I was like a a VIP speaker at one of the events, one of the private events, right? And
yeah,
afterwards, somebody came up to me and said, "Hey, I did not realize how opposite the political spectrum you and I are." And I looked at them and I'm
yep,
like, "That, like, let's play a game. For everything that you and I disagree with, I will give you 5 to 10 things that you and I do agree with.
yeah,
And by the end, you'll realize, like, we have been obsessing about this 3 to 5% where we should be working on this 95% of the stuff that we agree on."
yeah,
He's like, "Well, what's an example?" I'm like, "Veteran rights." And I'm like, because he's a veteran. And I'm like,
yeah,
"Notice how I don't say benefits." And I'm like,
yeah,
and then we start this discussion. And like, okay, I'm like, election reform, like, and boom, 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 boom.
yeah,
If you just start with the things, but the thing is, you have to start with what do we actually agree upon? And that is
yeah,
games, and that is joy, and that is laughter, and that is ice cream. And find that thing that you build enough trust to have the conversation, and you realize a person isn't this 3% of the or 5% of the stuff that we don't agree about on, that the system is constantly putting forward to paralyze you and progress.
yeah. I love it, man. It's awesome. That's why I probably wear this shirt. And you're right. When you play games, like I'm just thinking about just making friends and and hanging out with people and having fun. And it's kind of my escape from any stress of the week and stress at work and things like that, right? And I think you're right that, even you think of, like, without getting into politics, people can sit in the best game nights is when I don't know what anybody's political affiliation is, because we're all just hanging out having fun, right? And
Mhm.
I've been at some game nights, not the one I run, but I've been at others where two people will kind of start going at it on some political issue, and it's like, whoa, what a buzzkill, man! Like, and usually people will step in and say, guys, can we have like no politics at the table? Can we all just like chill and hang
Even
out?
that's
Like,
gotten even more complicated.
yeah,
Like I live in the Twin Cities. How can you not like? Oh, okay, we have people executed in the streets. Is
sure,
that political or is that news? Like, and so you get to this
yeah,
certain point though, where you have to create a space where people get to recharge. And it's not
yeah,
about is it political? Let's not have politicals. It's like, can we not tonight? Or do
yeah,
you need us to take a moment to talk about this thing that you are in pain for so that we can all get to the recharging and the other kinds of stuff? Like
yeah,
nobody wants their pain to be dismissed. Like,
of course,
right? Like
yeah,
I lost my ability to get the meds I need. Like, is that political or is that like my life state? Right?
yeah,
But what you can say is, I'm in this pain or this situation is negatively affecting me. And then you can also say, hey, here's our period for this. Can we do this other thing then too as well? Like,
yeah, and find the
right?
commonality too. And
Yeah,
there,
right.
you're right.
If you
There is a
find the
common thread.
commonality,
There's
like,
something, right? You can talk to anybody, right? There's going to be something that you can relate to, right?
and
And
the
maybe it's as simple as I had a boss once who said, we all get out of bed one leg at a time, right?
yeah, find the thing that's
Right? Like,
common. Like
yeah,
what you were saying is like, I don't have any more spoons for that tonight.
yeah,
Like that is an I statement about you that is fair, and your friend's like, you're right. I don't need to do this now, right?
yeah,
But like, do we have to do politics now? That's like, depending on how a person's life is, that is now even part of the sandy grit of us rubbing up against each other.
yeah,
Like, right? Like, why do you got to make it political? Like, whoa, like that. Even that phrase has become actually political.
Politicized.
Like,
Absolutely.
and we're caught in this choice 2022, and it's not our fault. It's because the systems that we use to connect with each other, their primary response is to get us to butt heads because that's how you increase engagement. That's
Clicks
how,
and that
like,
generates revenue, right? And
yeah,
ads.
that's how generates revenue.
Yeah.
Like, the machines don't care about your feelings. The machines care about you staying on board.
So speaking of machines as a segue,
Yeah.
uh, this game, how did you come up with the idea? Where did the genesis of the idea come from? You like that segment? Was that good?
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Okay, so End of the Line is a game about standing in line. My ex-husband was the inspiration of this game because he would be that person if you go into a grocery line or a bank line or whatever else, that
Yeah.
line will now take 4 times longer for whatever the reason.
Yeah.
Somebody's now has a problem with their credit card, somebody had whatever it is, and so that like, and I died a little bit inside. I'm like, why doesn't somebody just take me out? Like that idea. And I'm a huge fan of just like post-apocalyptic stuff. And if you know in any of the things from Mad Max to Brazil to THX 11138, the number one thing that you can look forward to in any dystopian situation is people lining up.
Yeah.
Like, be it Waterworld or whatever it is, and I'm like, okay, let's make a game about people lining up and then the terrible things that happen in the apocalypse. And I'm just gonna put every reference that I could unapologetically in the game. And I'm from Detroit, and like Detroit people have a mean, mean sense of humor. And End of the Line has been called the meanest game in gaming, and it deserves it. So the Inevitable Machine World is the expansion where we take one of the family members. You normally have a nuclear family, a dad, mom, boy, girl, and dog,
Yeah.
and now you're forced to remove them to have your robot chaperone. So the robot comes booby trapped because the robots really don't want the humans to continue, and so the goal is to try to collect resources and have the largest family at the end of the game with the shenanigans. So I've always like from Terminator to Runaway, like even Aliens, we always knew that the machines were watching and eventually they will replace us.
Oh, they will. It's just a matter of time. Of
It
course.
is. Yeah, like Westworld, like even the original with Yul Brynner to like the new series, which is fantastic. Like
Yeah.
the machines will always, yeah, and so that is why it is the inevitable machine revolt.
That's fantastic. The artwork. Who did your art? Like, I love this quirky art style. It's so and congrats on the gifts you got on your page as well. Like all these characters waving and things like that. It's awesome.
It is my business partner Mark. Mark, who stepped in after everybody else left. Like Mark has been our artist since Hedgehog Hop.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Oh,
It's
since the
so good.
connection.
No,
Yeah,
no,
no,
that's
he's
fine.
done a fantastic job. The characterization of this, absolutely fantastic. Like Beans, Gas Can, Bullet, and Cantina uh, are really alive in that let's all go to the lobby sort of way.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. And then so in terms of playing, walk me through like how you would play this. Like just before we went on air, you're describing kind of like the way the drafting works and then the placing of the meeple. Walk us through that because I think that's important to kind of get people's minds around how this thing works.
I want to reduce the mental load as much as possible. And I'm a learn as you play person.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to know like, you only need to know 3 things to play, not to win. You only need to know 3 things to play. That's it. Okay. You'll have a hand of cards. You're going to pick one of those, and it's going to be something good or bad that's going to happen to either you or your neighbors. Okay. And you drop that on the table, letting no one see
Yeah.
simultaneously. We're all doing that. Next, everybody takes one of their family members and puts it on the landmine that they just put down on the table, right? Like that card, right? They're
Yep.
like, oh, okay. So you pick a card, you pick a family member, and then you have line tokens that you secretly put down so that nobody knows where you're going to line up. Then you all reveal your line tokens, and then starting with the mayor, everybody gets put into one of the lines that they assign themselves. Boom. All right. Now, if one of the lines is full enough for it to execute, that means it has a number of characters in it equals the number of players. We call that the terminal number.
Hmm.
If it is terminal, it must go. then we will execute those cards in order back to front.
And those people, quite frankly, they're on it, right?
Yeah, like, you have you have the lottery happening. You have Have You Seen Me, which is a Guar song and a Milk Carton reference.
Yeah.
We have catastrophes, we have mutant attacks, and every time one of those things happens, your character is putting themselves at risk. It is not a take that game, James. It is a take this game. It is about surviving the horrible things you yourself put into action. I can survive this. Can you? I
Oh, I
can
love it.
survive this. Can you? And so if at the end of the round, if we don't execute, you then pass your entire hand of cards to the person to your left. So the
Mm.
information of the horrible things that could happen, you've now passed to the next person. It is a deadly drafting game. It is the Sushi Go party of death,
Oh, I love it.
James.
How long does it take to play? Is it like a 30-minute game?
Yeah, 30 to 40, like, yeah, like your first time is going to take you 50. Subsequently, depending on like a 5-person game might be a half an hour, a four
Yeah.
person game might be 40 minutes. Like
Yeah.
there's a little bit more. Yeah. So it's weird in the way because of the maximum amount of death that could happen. More players means the game's actually quicker.
It's like not the dog,
Not the
please.
dog. Yeah. So there's inclusive family packs where you can have non-binary meeples too. That ends up happening. Um, this one will also give you kids and pets packs so that you can make your family however you want.
Mm.
In like, if you want it to be Lord of the Flies and all children, you go for it. Okay. If you
How
want to make it
sick do
all
you want to be? I guess is the question, right?
right, like because the different like Children of the Corn.
Yeah.
Um, Feed the Children of the Corn is the card in the game. Kills all adults,
Mm.
right? And so you line up with that card with one of your children, like, and so you can create strategies in and around, and you're trying to maximize death that hurts others that you yourself have a minimal amount of effort to survive.
It's got a very much of a party game vibe to it. Is that fair to say? Like,
Did you think Magical Athlete or Hot Streak has a party game vibe?
yeah.
Then yes. It is a dark, 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 dark party game.
Yeah.
It's one step nerdier than and a little more gamery than Magical Athlete.
Yeah.
But if
But
you
it's
like
got
that,
like I guess accessible is probably the word to use more than party game,
is
but it
it?
well, it's not entirely complicated, right? Like it's something you can
No,
get to the table quick.
you can.
It's something you can play with a lot of players.
Five.
Well, five is a lot of players, right?
Yep.
And and it's got that right kind of pacing. So 30 minutes, start to the game night, end to the game night while you're waiting for another game to finish kind of a thing, right? So
Right.
I put games kind of in that genre together. Maybe the party's not the right word, but it's kind of the sweet spot. It's kind of like all play is very much plays in that area, right? Where most of their games you can play fairly quickly.
Yeah, I
And
like
it's
Crowd Pleaser for that.
yeah,
I think it's one step worse than like a gateway game. It's definitely a crowd pleaser. It is super duper 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 dark.
but
It's
that's my sense of humor, so maybe that's why I love it,
You're
right?
gonna like it. Like James, I think you're gonna like it. It's super dark. Like if you want to like, oh my gosh, like yeah, all the terrible. And the first time you play, you should just brace for impact. Like you could literally play the game blind,
Yeah,
never look at the cards, put it down, and just see what happens, and you will have a hoot. And maybe that's a better way if you give yourself analysis paralysis,
yeah.
right? Like, let's just see what happens. It can be like a completely legitimate way to play the game. But eventually, it's control chaos. Like, people are like, there's no strategy in this. I'm like, can play professional poker. There's types of strategies based
Oh
on
yeah.
bluffing and percentages, and sometimes you just don't get it, and sometimes you do. But understanding like the other people at the table, how they play and what they're gonna do, like and since there's four lanes of it, and you can read the body language of other person, you're like that person just dropped a bomb on the food line. I am
Yeah.
not putting my people in the food line. Like I'm gonna wait till that goes off. Like and so it's controlled chaos. So I would say it's crowd pleaser, controlled chaos. Yeah, but
I think sometimes people get too thinky too, right? It's like, okay, well then go play a deep strategy game if you want to play strategy. Like, it's okay to have a game that's not super deep strategy. That's just fun, right? And
Right.
a crowd pleaser. That's totally cool. There are tons of them out there that do very, very well. Right? So that's
Yeah,
not a bad
it's
thing.
like a game should be what like I would recommend this for a lot of people. You and I should play this game together. I recommend it for all the fight fans.
Yeah.
But it should not be a surprise to a person who you should let a person know what they're like all the trigger warnings. Here's all the terrible trigger warnings for this game. And one of them will be like, you will make plans and your plans will go horribly, horribly awry. You are
Oh,
building a Rube Goldberg machine of death,
yeah.
and that means somebody's going to get it. And but when you actually succeed in your plans, it feels like such a triumph, James.
I got that with Cities of Venus because it comes with like 100 little V-Knots, and like people are dying like crazy in this
Right.
game, right? And I had a couple reviewers come back to like, this is kind of dark. Like people are constantly dying. I'm like, yeah, exactly. That's what we were going for. Like we were going for life is going to be hard on Venus and lots of people are going to die and it's going to be a very big struggle to get there, right? It's like I'm leaning into it because that's what I'm going for. It's not gonna fit everyone's kind of what they're looking for, but for people that kind of appreciate that, they absolutely love it, and I think they're gonna love this one as well. I'm gonna put a link in the show notes for people that want to check this game out, so they can find it. It's on Kickstarter. As I said, today it launches. What's next, Seppi? You must have something else coming down the pipe. I know you're a game creating machine. There's got to be another one in the wings. Can you talk about it, or
Yeah,
what's next?
probably the next thing for me is gonna be an RPG, and most likely it's going to be our RPG you can play with your cat. So Barkane was a big success. We got an animal expert to help out with, and it is the cozy like solo journaling beginning entry like game that you did not need you needed to have. You go on these little adventures with your dog, but dogs cooperate, right?
Yeah,
More or less, or they, at least in subsection of them, they will all agree to walkies, and the mechanism for that game is great.
yeah.
Okay, so now I'm doing mechanisms for cats. Like, how does a person like a cat does not cooperate? So
No, they do the exact opposite.
yeah, like if you could at least get them to do the exact opposite, that would be consistent.
Yeah, that's true too.
Like you can never get a so I'm writing the thing that's probably going to end up coming next is the RPG that we play with your cat,
Oh, it's
which is going to be it's
fantastic.
fantastic. I'm hoping it's going to be as good as Barkane. Barkane is cuckoo bananas, and I'm hoping the one that you play with your cats is as good, if not better.
It's definitely one thing we can count on from fighting a box is cuckoo bananas. So, Seppi, I want to wish you all the best on this campaign, my friend. I can't wait to see how it ends. Again, I encourage people to check it out. It's on Kickstarter. Link is in the show notes. Until next time, my friend.
Bye, James. Thanks.
Take care, buddy. Cheers. This has been an episode of the Board Game Binge podcast, hosted by James Staley, produced by James Staley and Mike Bruner, with original music by Nick Smith. If you would like to watch these interviews live, simply subscribe to our YouTube channel, Board Game Binge, and you'll get access to live interviews, giveaways, and interesting board game content from across the industry. I can't wait for you to join us. See you next time.